General guidelines for communicating risk issues. Next, we'll highlight some general rules that your organization can use as guidelines for communicating risk issues. These are mostly taken from Vincent Covello and Frederick Allen's 7 Cardinal Rules of Risk Communication. Number 1. Accept and involve the public as a partner. Involving the public early, before any decisions are made, helps establish an atmosphere of trust and sincerity. If you are seen as trustworthy, then when your organization releases information to the public, it'll likely go more smoothly. The community may become angry or upset and overestimate risks if they're not involved at an early stage. 2. Plan carefully and evaluate your efforts. Develop communication strategies and plans as early as possible. Begin with specific objectives. What are you trying to achieve? Recruit spokespersons who are good at presenting and interacting. 3. Listen to the specific concerns of community members. Risk communication is a two-way street. You must listen. Do not make assumptions. 4. Be honest, frank, and open. Trust and credibility are your most important assets when communicating risk information. To maintain these, state your credentials, admit mistakes, and disclose information quickly. In a recent interview with Growing Produce, Lisa Lockridge, Director of Public Affairs for the Florida Fruit and Vegetable Association and President of the Agricultural Institute of Florida, suggests acknowledging information gaps. Lisa recognizes that as events unfold rapidly, it takes time to gather information, but that the more facts you can provide, the better. Have a look at these 2 short video clips of interviews with Tony Hayward, BP Chief Executive, during the Deep Horizon oil spill. These videos demonstrate how quickly information can change in a crisis.
I think the environmental impact of this disaster is likely to have been very, very modest. It's impossible to say, and we will mount, as part of the aftermath, a very detailed environmental assessment as we go forward. We're going to do that with some of the science institutions in the US, but everything we can see at the moment suggests that the overall environmental impact of this will be very, very modest.
If I were to ask you what you thought the environmental impact of this spill is going to be, what would you say? What would your assessment be now?
This is clearly an environmental catastrophe. There is no two ways about it. And all I would say is that in terms of the estimates, the initial rate was a government estimate. These rates are a government estimate.
But you're upping your assessment now to environmental catastrophe.
It's clear. I mean, it is clear that we are dealing with a very significant environmental crisis.
We can see from these clips that one must strike a balance in being honest, frank, and open, because relaying information later found to be false can affect public trust and your credibility. 5. Work with other credible sources. Develop partnerships with other organizations or agencies. Try to partner with other trustworthy experts, such as doctors, local officials, and university scientists. 6. Meet the needs of the media. Ultimately, the news media communicates risk to the public, so you must meet reporters' needs. Before a risk situation occurs, develop relationships with reporters. This banking of goodwill ahead of time may help you in a risk situation. 7. Meet the needs of your employees. Communicating internally keeps information flowing and helps to minimize rumors, which should be addressed immediately. Lisa Lockridge also suggests that it's important to keep your staff updated with the facts. It is also recommended to review your company policy regarding talking with the media. 8. Speak and communicate clearly and with compassion. Do not use technical language. Be sensitive to people's emotions. Promise only what you can do and do what you promise. Express genuine empathy for anyone harmed, injured, or killed. This must be your first response. So far, we've been talking about risk communication in general here in the top part of this funnel diagram. And remember, we said that risk communication techniques are used to handle both risk and crisis situations. But there are differences between a risk and a crisis situation, and this can affect how we communicate the situation.